Hey, welcome to the CMO Whisper Show. I'm your host, Steve Olensky. Part marketing practitioner, part ad agency veteran, part journalist. I was a writer for Forbes for 10 years. I've had so many insightful conversations over the years with business leaders, to athletes, to celebrities, to, of course, CMOs. The only difference now is instead of sharing those insights through written form, I'm doing it this way. My guest this week is Jenn Ogden-Reese. Jenn is Chief Marketing Officer at On Location, a leading premium experiences company providing access to ticket packages with enhanced hospitality and premier end-to-end travel for bucket list events. She has more than 25 years of experience building businesses and leading multi-platform marketing and strategy. Now, prior to joining On Location, she served as CMO at several high-growth companies, including 2U, an education tech company serving over 44 million registered learners, and SeatGeek, a leading mobile-first live event ticketing platform. Jenn launched her career at Time Inc., marketing brands from Sports Illustrated Kids to InStyle to People, working in various leadership positions, including SVP of Consumer Marketing. Jenn also serves on the board of Global Glimpse, a nonprofit organization providing powerful international leadership experiences to high school students. Graduate of Dartmouth, Jenn lives in Westchester County, New York, and in her spare time, she enjoys attending live events, skiing, and being a dedicated sports mom to her 3 sons. Jenn, welcome to the CMO Whisperer Show.
Thank you so much, Steve. I'm thrilled to be here. As you mentioned, I grew up early days in content and publishing, so I am absolutely happy to be here contributing with you and connecting with a fellow content devotee. So it's great to be here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I got a segue first where it says you enjoy attending live events. And the live event, in case you're under a rock, that is coming up this Sunday is the Super Bowl. And I'm pretty sure I know one of the teams. I'm being sarcastic for those who don't know me. I am a born and bred Philadelphian, and I live and breathe Eagle Creek. So I'm a big Eagles fan, and I'm very much
fly, Eagles, fly.
Fly, yes. Eagles, fly. And I did not put you up to that.
No.
So it's a perfect segue. I know you would love going to live events. It's the biggest live event, arguably, in the world. Let's get into what is On Location plans and role and involvement. Pick a word when it comes to the Super Bowl.
Wow. I mean, where to begin? We have been partners with the NFL for many, many years. They're one of our biggest and best partners that we work with in terms of creating hospitality experiences for events such as the Super Bowl. It really is one of our marquee events that we do every year. We just renewed our contract to be the exclusive hospitality provider for the Super Bowl. And, we do everything from end to end accommodations to concerts to fan parties. So if you were attending as an Eagles fan, if you were attending the Super Bowl with On Location, you would have a special Eagles tailgate party just for you. You would have outstanding seat selection. You would really have an experience that went far beyond a ticket to the game. And that's really what we do. We really take that experience and we up the game of being at the game is really what I like to say. It's much more than a ticket. It's that overall experience for the guest from start to finish. And, the Super Bowl experience is one of our marquee events. And we absolutely hard at work currently on the ground in New Orleans, making sure that our fans who have already started to arrive are having the absolute best time, meeting legends, seeing memorabilia, really doing everything you'd want to do as a football fan during that special weekend in New Orleans. So it's amazing. It's going to be amazing. And people are already on the ground enjoying.
Will you be going?
I will not be going. I will be monitoring the marketing from afar, making sure that we do everything we can to deliver the best possible results for our guests. And I have a fantastic team that will be on the ground, and I have full trust in them. So it's going to be an amazing weekend.
So I want to start picking your brain on just the world of marketing at large and different things, but I want us to stay on. You mentioned NFL. It's been a long time partner. Tell us other partners that On Location works with. Give us a couple examples.
Yeah, I mean, two of the marquee partners to mention are the IOC. We are the official hospitality provider, first ever official hospitality provider for the Olympic Games. We welcomed tens of thousands of guests in Paris from over 120 countries in a first of its kind hospitality experience for the games. We are hard at work on Milan Cortina for the Winter Games. Mm-hmm. And then also already thinking about Los Angeles 28, where we will be continuing to build and grow that hospitality program. And, we're really there to welcome guests across the world to all of these venues and have an amazing experience with the Olympic Games. So that's been amazing. We were named the official hospitality partner for FIFA World Cup for 2026. So that is happening in North America, in the US, Canada, and Mexico. And that's just going to be absolutely, not only a sporting event, but just a cultural moment for the world. And so we're thrilled to be partnering with them. We also work with the NCAA, and UFC and WWE are also key partners for us. So we're really working with the biggest and best organizations out there. And that sets a high bar for us to deliver absolutely amazing experiences, at all different price points for all different fans. Mm-hmm. So it's really a fun and exciting space and very, very dynamic, as you might imagine.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's ever boring.
No.
And I love hearing the passion in your voice when you talked about all that. So that was amazing. And I nothing I love and respect more than when someone has passion for what they do. So I just wanted to make note of that. Okay, let's get into, the marketing side of your brain and your experience. And, I talk to CMOs all the time and heads of marketing and brand and chief experience officers, the chief digital officers, and all these titles that, kind of have proliferated over the past 5 to 10 years. The first thing I want to talk about, and we talked about this offline, is the difference. That's not even a word, a brand versus performance, right? Yeah. It's a pet peeve of mine, Jen, in the context of, and I see stats and I see, research done of you have to pick one over the other. And no, you don't.
No.
And I've done this long enough. I abhor when I hear CMOs are prioritizing, brand over performance. It just drives me crazy. And I'd love to pick your brain on just how brand and performance can live together, how top of funnel can, driving awareness and engagement. Mm-hmm. Let's just start at the top. First of all, brand versus performance. Why do you think so many have to have those separated?
Yeah, I mean, I join you in that being a huge pet peeve of mine. And listen, I mean, I started my career as a direct marketer in the magazine space. So it was not sexy as being a brand marketer. But to me, at that time, to me, there was incredible satisfaction in being able to make a tangible business impact and read your results and say, all right, how many people actually wrote a check for People Magazine or InStyle Magazine based on that direct mail piece that I, commissioned, designed, mailed out with my team? How many customers have we retained year over year? So I really was, I kind of had my roots in what is probably now called more performance marketing. But at the same time, you realize you need to have a connection with the consumer and you need to have a brand that is powerful in terms of consumer wanting to engage, loving it. Really, you really need to have a deep understanding of what your consumer is getting out of your product. That's brand. So to me, I think what we've seen, I started in sort of the non-sexy direct marketing age, but with the rise of digital, really the opportunities to measure and understand all types of marketing has just increased incredibly. And to me, it's, direct marketing is now cool. Really reading and measuring results is fundamental. And, I think marketers realize more than ever that to get funding, whether it's for brand or for, quote, bottom of the funnel performance, they need to make it the case with their CFO and their CEO around how whatever they're going to do is going to impact metrics and KPIs. And again, that doesn't mean every single thing you're doing is going to result in a sale, but it means that it is part of a journey. And that's kind of where I really think what I say to my team is look, we're about branded performance. We need to be true to what our product or service stands for. And that needs to come through and that needs to be conveyed. But we also need to be measuring. We need to be understanding where this activity fits in that journey. And again, I just really think it's all very, very, very merged at this point. And, understanding how that customer comes in and out of your funnel is more possible than ever with digital media. And, I sort of preach that to my teams. Like, we believe in doing out of home, for example. We believe in doing influencer marketing, but we also want to say, all right, what is that going to do for us? Okay. Is it going to increase traffic to our website? Is it going to increase branded search? What is it going to do? And then understanding how that translates further down the funnel to commercialization. So, I think it's just a moot point. I really think that, branded performance is where it's at. Everyone's goal ultimately with marketing is to engage and connect with their consumers and drive value to their business. And, we can do that more than ever. So
I love that. Sorry to interrupt you, the branded performance. I don't know if you coined that, but it's amazing. Brilliant.
I don't know if I did or not, but that's what wherever I might have heard it, I've pushed that forward to my team because I think it conveys just the right brain, left brain reality of being a marketer today. I agree.
And not to go, this is where my brain goes. I could see you giving a talk titled Branded Performance. It's that powerful of a 2-word sentence. I really believe that.
I love it. Well, I'd be happy to, but many folks, I think in the marketing community are in that boat right now where you need to really you need to really justify your investments. You really need to be able to understand how everything works together. And at the same time, you need to engage consumers with really fabulous creative, with really great messaging. What I really am passionate about in marketing is both the creative side and then the measurement side. You bring that together.
Listen, we could have a part 2 just on this topic, and maybe we'll, or maybe you and I will get on stage together, which could be quite interesting. But because there's just so much noise, maybe that's the right word, that there's marketers and CMOs and all the stress that they're under every penny, as you know.
Yes. And
when you're talking top of funnel, you get into those esoteric kind of KPIs, and it doesn't have to be that way.
No, I mean, I think there's people overcomplicate things, to your point.
Oh my God. Sorry, I have to interrupt. You just said one of my life's mantras. I'm not kidding. And I didn't put you up to this, but I believe we overcomplicate so many things in life, but marketers take it to a whole.
Yes. Don't get me started. I'm also on the many, marketing attribution, black box vendors. I'm like, I have no idea I want tangible, understandable metrics. I need to really be directly able to understand this data, So, it's an interesting time, but, I think continuing to just press to read the data, to recognize the impact you're having on the business, and to make sure that you're really understanding your consumer.
Yeah, which is a perfect segue. Thank you into what I want to talk about next, which is such a novel idea. And I'm being very sarcastic. Which is about listening and talking to your consumers. Sometimes I have to go, what year is this? Like, why are we still
wondering about this? Yeah.
What's that?
Why are we even considering not?
Exactly. Why is this novel?
No, it's not.
So, I know you have some examples you want to share about how, you got an insight from a consumer, and then that led to, a new product, a new way of doing things. Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, improve revenue. So talk to us about, if you want to start with a couple of examples about, listening to consumers and what that led to.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're absolutely right. It is such a cliche to say, put the customer at the center. Like, that's imperative. That's, we need to, as marketers, understand what our consumers value about our products and services. And, not only do we need to listen, but we need to listen to them. We need to mine our behavioral data, our transactional data to support what we're hearing. And then we got to take action, and I learned those lessons pretty early on, how powerful that can be. Early in my career, I worked at People magazine. This is, or 2003. So not dating myself, but this is back when magazines were were huge. And, People was a juggernaut in the media world at that time. And I was overseeing the consumer marketing revenue line. And this is a time where we were selling 1.5 million copies per week at $4 a pop on the newsstand. And we had 2 million subscribers spending over $100 a year. So it was a big business, and it was really a cash cow to the company, because not only did we have that amazing consumer revenue, we had a fantastic ad revenue stream. So it was the place to really innovate and dig in and understand, like, how can we make this bigger, better? How can we make this better for our consumers? So, listen, we heard every week, every day, like, this is from our consumers, this is my weekend treat. This is my way to unwind on Friday. This is my Saturday morning on the couch. This is, I can't live without this, because it's just a part of my downtime. And it's a powerful part of that. And so we heard this. Oh, this is very nice. And, we leveraged that in our marketing and our advertising. And then we said, all right, listen, this is a physical magazine. It's not getting to every single consumer at the same time. We have printing plants. And so we dug into the data. Like, all right, if you receive your magazine on Friday, are you renewing better than if you receive it on Monday? And the answer is, yeah, you were renewing. We had more loyalty, more retention among consumers who received their magazine Friday or Saturday than if they received it on Monday or Tuesday. And we sold more copies in the checkout stands also. So, you're doing your Friday night shop. We sold through much better. So, okay, great. The reality is that insight meant that we had to really think about our whole operation. Like, okay. And what we did is we made the case that, look, if we can move retention rates a point or two, if we can move our sales, our sell-through at supermarkets by Y, it is worth us adding more printing plants. It is worth us adding more trucks, because we also wanted to, some people say, well, why don't you just close the magazine earlier? Well, we want the fresh product. We want the best possible. Again, this is pre sort of the rise of digital. We didn't want to sacrifice the quality. So we needed to invest in our overall operation. So we added printing plants. We worked with the post office. We added trucks. And it was a whole company initiative to make this happen. And what happened? Retention rates went up. Sell-through went up. And it was a big driver to just making a better experience for the customer. They got the magazine when they wanted it, and it drove the business. And so it was really cool.
And all from just consumer insight. It sounds so simplistic. But
yes.
That's the point.
Right. Obviously. But so often people don't push through to make, because the reality is those consumer insights, marketing can do things with them, right? Marketing can, we're going to show a woman in a bathtub reading whatever magazine to convey the value prop. But to take the insight and actually say to your product team, look, we can evolve our product, we can evolve our operations to be better for the consumer. And that's kind of like my, as a marketer, I really consider myself a business builder. I love marketing. I love all of that, but I'm also there to drive the business. Mm-hmm. And so that initiative and that work, which is not just me, it was a whole company getting behind this, really kind of informed me as I went forward. Like, yes, you're marketing, but take those insights, make sure they're getting to the product team, make sure they're getting to the folks that can really make for an enhanced consumer experience. And that's kind of, I love that. I love that part of my job. It's just I get the insights, I dig in the data, and then, I want to trumpet that and make sure that we deliver on innovating. And I think, for sure we do that at every event when you're in the live experiences business, you are up close and personal with your guests at every event. And so you are observing them, you are hearing from them, and our team, our production team, our event team, they are amazing and they're innovating. They're innovating on the fly and they're identifying changes for the future, which is like, the little things matter. Yeah. Reducing the friction for a guest on how they get into and out of the venue, making sure there's the right food and bev, the fact that they can meet and greet a celeb. There's just so many elements that, when you see it, you can incorporate that and evolve that. And that's one of the things that's great about this live event experience business is the ability to sort of innovate your product, make it better.
Yeah. I mean, and you mentioned to me how you've seen what you call a boom, right? And sports is leading that, right? And fans are paying more for travel and premium experience. And at or top of that list is a sporting event like the Super Bowl, right?
Yes.
And I want you to, one of the things you said to me, rights holders and brands can leverage this. And I really want to get into how.
Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, sports tourism is booming. It's incredible. I mean, it's one of the fastest growing sectors in tourism. It's valued at, $500 billion in 22. It's estimated to grow significantly over the next several years. And we've seen that obviously in the demand for some of our events that I mentioned, the Olympics. So, we opened up the ability for consumers to put down a deposit so they could be first in line to buy tickets for the FIFA World Cup. And, we had a record-setting day of people just the interest in being part of these sporting events globally is just absolutely fantastic. And, what's driving that? I think that people are recognizing that experiences are memories, and memories are what makes life great. And we used to say it's also the people you go with. I mean, it's lifelong memories that you create when you go and have one of these experiences. And I think more and more people are recognizing, especially post-COVID, that connection and being there live is just, there's nothing like it. So, we're tapping into that. And I think that, we also recognize that, for a company, we market very heavily to individuals and consumers, but we also market to companies and corporations where they can build a customized program to bring their staff, their best customers, so that they can really experience something they've never experienced before. And you have a great opportunity to connect with them. And so we love to serve consumers from, of all types, but also we serve corporations. And I think we also allow brands to incorporate into that experience. And so, allow consumers to experience different brands on site. And that, that's another way for people to get involved. Because I think when you're having a great time, it's a good time to sell something to people.
Oh my God. Can I, one way a brand, let's say, let me use the Super Bowl as an example. Let's say I'm a brand, but I have no official partnership with the Super Bowl, right? Can I come to On Location and say, I want to offer a package, including Super Bowl tickets, blah, 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 through you versus through the actual game itself? Is that one way a brand who's not involved in a given event can get involved?
Well, you can offer to bring people to the Super Bowl. Our ability to, listen, the NFL is a fabulous partner, but there are definitely major guidelines around how,
right.
Around sponsorships. So that would definitely be something that we would say, if you're talking about a sponsorship type of option, you need to work with the NFL. If you want to bring your team, your customers to have an amazing experience at the Super Bowl, then you would come to us. We could build you. We could build you a bespoke program where you've got, hotel, you've got transportation, you've got dinners, you've got concerts. We put all that together with our official partnership with the NFL.
Right.
And, we do that all the time. And it's absolutely amazing for the companies who do that. They come away feeling like they've given something to their clients or their staff that it can't be replicated.
No. I think it's a great way that if a brand doesn't want to get officially involved in a given event,
right,
but to still have a peripheral benefit, if you
presence. Will. Yes, exactly. And to be there is just fantastic.
I know we're coming up, got about 10 minutes or so left, and I want to touch on a couple of things, and then we're going to have some fun at the end, which you know nothing about, but you trust me and you're here. Your leadership style. You have a very unique, where I think you said to me, you like a culture of experimentation and accountability.
Yeah.
That's pretty, all the countless leaders I've spoken to over the years, and will do more, that combination, if you will, that's pretty rare.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if you probably can tell by now, like, I love impact, right? There's so many good ideas from marketers, but I drive home the idea of you got to make the case for any given idea we're going to try. We got to make the case, whether it's a new channel, a new creative direction. I'm always asking, okay, what's the why? What do we expect the outcome to be? how are we moving the metrics we care about, and can it scale? We all work with limited resources and limited budget, and every single thing we take on, we need to go for it. That's another thing. I cannot stand it when people dabble. I'm like, we got to go in, we got to be smart about what we're going to try, and make sure that we're learning from every experiment we do. And as not everything in marketing works, and that's fine. So my view is, let's dream big. Let's think about what this could be, where we could take this business, but let's test really, really smart and then scale.
Yeah.
And, I think I want my team, let's aspire to be the biggest, the best, the most beloved brand, but we've got to start somewhere. We've got to test, we've got to analyze, we've got to iterate. And it doesn't mean we don't want to take big swings, but let's learn.
Yeah.
Let's learn along the way. And, so I want to be trying things. I just want to be I want to be smart. I want to be thoughtful. And I want to make sure that we're also really transparent about the results, not just in marketing, but beyond. We're not hiding our misses. We're learning from them. And then we're celebrating the wins as well. So I want to create that culture where it's okay if we thought something through and we went for it and it didn't work. That's all right, because inevitably we learned, and we'll take that forward. And so to me, that's why it's experiment and be accountable. That's the combination, and don't shy away from what doesn't work, because there's always lessons there.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Dream big, test smart. That's kind of what I tell my team.
Yep. I love that. Okay, here comes the fun part. I have this, I close out on, if you've ever heard an episode, it's just called the Random 5. And I pull 5 random questions from this huge database and help people to get to know you as a person.
All right.
Okay. And it's just rapid fire and you just answer. And here we go. What's something most people don't know about you that might surprise them?
I do the New York Times spelling bee every day.
Okay. How do you unwind or recharge when you're feeling overwhelmed or burnt out?
Go for a run.
Is there a book, movie, or song, or all of the above, that has had a profound impact on you?
I'm a big music fan, and I can't say as I have a particular song, but if I'm feeling down, I go to Tom Petty radio. I'm a big Tom Petty fan, and virtually any song that I hear from him lifts my spirits and inspires me.
Interesting. For some reason, when you said that, the song Won't Back Down came into
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So we channeled each other right there. Yeah. All right, we'll back down. Oh, I like it.
I love that. That's a good motto as well.
Right? Okay. Who in your life do you turn to when you need support or guidance?
It's going to be cliche, but my mom. And not only because she's my mother, but because she was a small business owner, and she's inspiring in that way, not only being a great parent, but just being someone who built a business on her own, and kind of gets the ups and downs that go with just the work world.
Gotcha. Last question. Do you have a personal mantra or quote that you live by?
Don't back down.
Touche.
I can't think of anything super specific, but I think that, I always believe in, what I tell my kids is, be your best every day. It's not always going to be the best outcome, but if you're working hard, that's what matters. Do your best and good things will happen.
I love it. Well, listen, Jenn Ogden-Reese, this has been a blast. You are an absolute treat. My guests are going to learn my listeners are going to learn so much. And I can't thank you enough for your time. And I would be remiss, because I would be outcast, if I didn't say, go Eagles.
We will be cheering for both sides.
There you go.
Well, Steve, thank you so much. An absolute pleasure to chat with you. So much fun. And I really enjoyed it.
Well, that wraps up another episode of the CMO Whisperer Show. I hope you shared this episode with your friends. And if you have not already, please subscribe to be kept up to date on all the latest episodes. And if you're so inclined, leave me a review on your favorite podcast platform. Thank you.